Those who weren't able to score a ticket to the big game will be celebrating around the metro today. And one of the hot spots is Truman's Kansas City Pizza Tavern right here in Des Moines. That's where we find our Teodora Miethof this morning live. And Teodora, as we kind of tease at the top of the show, you've got all the insight to the pizza and the party.
Yeah, Lindsay, the party is definitely just getting started here. Even though we are hours away from the big game, Truman's opened up at 8 a.m. for their breakfast hours, but they're going to have a long day today. And that management here says that they are super excited. Every year that the Kansas City Chiefs make it into the big game, they host a watch party. They pride themselves in being a go-to spot for Kansas City games. And when they learned that the Chiefs made it to the highest stage yet again this year, they immediately started planning. Within a week, they were at 75% capacity, and now all 67 seats are reserved and ready for the game to start.
Oh, it's raucous. I mean, everybody with pom-poms, screaming, yelling, in a good way. We play over our sound system. We play that Tech Nine song, that Red Kingdom song, and the other like Jock Jams, ESPN-ish soundtrack type stuff. So we want to get everybody in there just as if they were here at Arrowhead or at any other football stadium.
And they're open now until 2:30 p.m. for the general public to come in and enjoy their breakfast and brunch hours. And then they're going to shut down for about an hour so they can decorate for the big game party. And at 3:30, they're going to reopen their doors for the people that have reserved the seats. And the party is then going to officially start, Lindsay.
Bringing the action of Vegas right here to downtown Des Moines. Teodora, thank you for that report. And ahead of tonight's game, another matchup will take place. The highly anticipated Puppy Bowl, the biggest Puppy Bowl yet, actually. It'll take place on the field at 1 o'clock this afternoon, featuring 31 pups and 73 shelters and rescues. 5 from Iowa made the trip to New York to compete, and today you can watch them. Paws and Pines will be hosting a tailgate party starting at noon. You can get tickets at the door. It's $20 for adults and $5 for children 10 and under. And if you're planning on celebrating tonight's big game with a drink, make sure you have a plan to get home safely. Mercy One and the National Highway Traffic Association want to remind football fans to make a game plan before heading out the door. More than 13,000 people are killed every year in drunk driving related crashes. Tonight, they say to designate a sober driver. Call a ride-share program if you have been drinking and can't drive. Buckle up, of course. And if you see a drunk driver on the road, call 911 right away. In other news, a woman is recovering this morning after suffering from multiple vicious dog bites Saturday afternoon. Police were called to an apartment complex in the 3800 block of University Avenue just after 4 p.m. They say the dog is now secure and is being cared for at the ARL. The woman remains in the hospital this morning with no word on her condition at this time. Des Moines Police is continuing to investigate the incident. One person's in the hospital in critical condition after a rollover Saturday morning. Troopers say it happened on a rural road in Hamilton County overnight. The driver apparently swerved, causing the vehicle to veer into a ditch and overturn. The driver is okay, but one passenger was airlifted to the hospital. Highway Patrol says the crash is still under investigation. Looking ahead into the week at the State House, tomorrow is Alzheimer's Day on the Hill, a day focused on how to talk to legislators and tell your story. Registration begins at 11 at the Iowa Historical Building. A welcome session and 2 trainings will happen before coming together to walk to the Capitol at 12:45. From 1:30 to 4:30, participants can meet with legislators from the House and Senate. All are welcome. Legislators will also discuss arming teachers in the classroom tomorrow. It's called HSB 675 and is currently being discussed at a House subcommittee. The bill would allow teachers to carry weapons on school property if they complete proper training. The Iowa State Education Agency says while it's supportive of the funding, it would prefer money be spent on prevention instead of armed protection. The bill also requires school districts with more than 8,000 students to have a resource officer at each high school. Not everyone supports that idea.
It as a district decided to take action to not employ school resource officers or other people who could be considered as law enforcement, as the community decided that was not the kind of relationship they were looking to foster with some of their students who had had adverse relationships with law enforcement.
Officials also say the topic of insurance needs to be addressed, which has been a struggle for schools in the past. And this morning, parents are speaking out against another bill, the proposed changes to the AEA programs here in Iowa. The current model has remained intact since 1974. The governor's new proposal would allow programs to still provide general education, media, and special ed services, but it would give school districts full control of how they're funded and the option to completely eliminate the programs.
It's happened this way, this model, since 1974. Don't dismantle what already worked for these kids.
Stacy added that her son works hard. He just works different. And that doesn't mean he can't be a contributing member of society. A few weeks ago, the AEA bill failed a House subcommittee and passed a Senate subcommittee. It still needs to pass a full committee vote. On the presidential campaign trail now, the battle over age is heating up quick. Nikki Haley is trailing former President Trump in her home state of South Carolina, and with 2 weeks until the GOP primary, she's looking to exploit the renewed focus on age. On Saturday, Haley called for competency tests for both President Biden and Trump, something that's striking a chord with voters.
That's one thing I do like about what Nikki Haley's been saying about, younger folks.
That comes after Republican Congresswoman Claudia Tenney called to invoke the 25th Amendment to remove President Biden from office. The ask comes after special counsel Robert Hur's report was released on Thursday, declining to prosecute the president for mishandling classified documents. However, he did express concern about the president's memory. Former President Donald Trump was quick to weigh in.
They said he was a mental basket case. Okay, so. Is this guy going to make it to the starting gate, seriously?
The Biden campaign did release a statement in response to Trump's stating, quote, every single time Donald Trump opens his mouth, he's confused, deranged, lying, or worse, end quote. We'll continue to give you the latest updates on the campaign trail right here on WHO 13 News. In other news, it's the second day of Chinese New Year, and the Des Moines community is spending the weekend celebrating. Yesterday, the library hosted a scavenger hunt where children could find certain items to win a prize. It also had several books displays that had a Chinese New Year or a dragon theme. That was just one of the many events being held during the festival's 15 days. Today you can learn more about the holiday at Jester Park at the History of Celebration event. It happens from 10:30 a.m. to noon today. A Lunar New Year party will also be held at the Iowa State Fairgrounds on the 24th from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. For those wanting to celebrate today, Gabe, they're going to have some pretty good weather.
Yeah, overall weather looking pretty quiet for the next couple of days. Really, most of the next week looks pretty quiet. We are going to change that mild note, though. So
Okay.
All good things must come to an end.
Yes, they
right?
do.
Not this weekend, though. We're still going to be staying pretty nice with temperatures in the 40s, a pretty good amount of sunshine through the day as well. But as mentioned, cooler air is set to return. We'll talk about when and your full forecast after the break. Hey, good morning. It's 9:15 and taking a live look from Stivers Ford Lincoln in Waukee. Kind of a cloudy look right now, although we've been trying to see some blue sky peek through the clouds. That was kind of the case yesterday too. We had some moments of some sunshine, the clouds moving in and then kind of back out again. That'll be the case at least for this morning. Most temperatures have now made their way into the 30s. We're still in the upper 20s in Atlantic, Creston, Pella. Upper 20s there, the rest of us in the low 30s. Fort Dodge, a warmer spot there at 34 degrees, 31 in Grinnell, 32 in Iowa Falls and Ames. Des Moines still sitting right at that 30-degree mark. Winds have been pretty light too, generally calm conditions, if not around 5 miles per hour. Fort Dodge experiencing a westerly wind close to 7 miles per hour, a northerly wind in Centerville, northwesterly, and Ottumwa there, both also about right at 7 miles per hour. Cloud cover is around this morning, but you'll also note kind of breaks in the clouds just west of the metro, farther off to the north and west. Clear conditions, and as you move in that direction to our northwest, you'll see lots of clear skies. High pressure remains in control over this part of the country, and that will be kind of moving its way towards us as we move into the rest of the day today and tomorrow with more clear skies. We are watching this little weak system pushing through western North Dakota near the Bismarck area. That one could potentially arrive by tomorrow night into Tuesday morning. I'll show you what that could bring in a second here. Storm path continues to keep us overall sunny today. Just a little bit of cloud cover here or there. I think by the late morning, early afternoon, we should be pretty much cleared out and for a pretty sunny rest of the day today. We stay pretty clear for the overnight as well, and tomorrow, lots of sunshine around. I expect us to stay mostly sunny for most of the day. We could see kind of a little area of clouds move in by the late afternoon and then get especially more overcast, more cloudy by tomorrow night into Tuesday morning. Now with that will come the chance for, this is that system near Bismarck, a little bit of very light wintry precipitation, perhaps a rain-snow mix. We'll have to watch for a couple slick spots early Tuesday. I expect those though to be very isolated. No major issues with that system, just some clouds around for Tuesday morning. Sun becomes a little more likely by late Tuesday, and then we're going to be in for mostly quiet conditions, but the forecast could turn a little more active by the end of the week. We'll talk about that in a second here. 45 for today, though, mostly sunny conditions. Winds out of the northwest at 5 miles per hour, so really pretty calm. Wind should not be an issue today. Upper 20s tonight as we keep the clear skies around and the light winds. We'll be to the upper 40s tomorrow with mostly sunny conditions, and we're on track to see those temperatures remain in the upper 40s to low 50s throughout the middle of the week. And then we get a little cooler. There is a very low chance for a little bit more rain and snow mix on Thursday. And by the end of the week, we are watching the potential for another weather system that could actually bring some snow to the area. Not enough confidence to throw that on the 7-day at this point, but we don't want to give you that early heads up. What is looking certain is a return of near normal temperatures. Lindsay, you do not look happy.
Because I'm not. No, I am thrilled.
You've been so spoiled this year.
I really have.
Spoiled.
Other than the cold snap we had in 28 inches of snow in a week.
Up until now, I've been telling people, are we going to just have like 2 weeks of winter
and
it's be done? But it does look like cold is coming
you gave
back.
us, because I always joke that you guys have like a weather wand back there and
well,
you control the weather. You gave us a good Super Bowl. You're giving us a good Valentine's Day forecast. So we're happy.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll take the wins where I can get them.
Thanks, Gabe. Well, Sin City is getting ready to party. Next is security behind the scenes to protect both fans and pop stars. Welcome back. The Super Bowl is a massive security operation to protect the hundreds of thousands arriving in the city, including one major music star. Steve Patterson has
safety, security, and surveillance on high alert here on the Strip. With more than 300,000 people flooding Sin City for Super Bowl Sunday weekend, officials say it's all hands on deck to identify any potential threat.
Good boy!
The challenge is you're trying to separate the stupid from the sinister. We take it all seriously until we can rule out that it's not a threat to the community.
More than 750 agents joining increased patrols from state and local law enforcement, securing the land, sea, and the skies above Allegiant Stadium.
No doubt security is paramount both in and outside of this stadium, but good luck getting inside. The average seat here, about $9,000.
And of course, you can't ignore the city's most famous pastime.
Let's go Memphis.
Betting big.
It's the largest sports book in the world.
Close to 70 million Americans are expected to gamble on this year's big game, up 35% from last year. And after years of shunning the practice, the NFL is now openly cashing in, partnering with big-name sports books right next to the stadium.
The professional leagues understood it's going to increase their TV ratings, which is their #1 source of revenue.
And the biggest star at the game will likely be in the crowd. Taylor Swift is reportedly making an epic 12-hour trip to cheer on her boyfriend, Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce. Tonight, what's believed to be her private jet can be seen on flight trackers making its way across the Pacific, but NBC News has not been able to confirm she is in fact on board. But for 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy, that's not a concern.
Are you prepared to disappoint Taylor Swift?
Yes.
sweet little Brock Purdy. Yes, he's like, I can't win with any answer.
Does he know what he's in for?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, you think we're going to get a surprise performance?
Okay, so we were kind of talking about this. We were gabbing about, Usher. I don't really care about that. You were saying Justin Bieber.
That's the rumor.
The rumor?
I don't know if that's confirmed yet.
It needs to be. I've seen some memes being like, we need the white denim, purple snapback, Justin Bieber, not like this current version that we have. So fingers crossed.
I feel like there's no way there's going to be a Taylor performance. She doesn't want to steal the spotlight.
No, and she's denied that show 1,000 times. So.
Okay.
Gotta watch to see. All right, well, coming up, as you just heard, security around Allegiant Stadium is really tight ahead of the Super Bowl game tonight. We're going to take a look at the security measures in the sky after the break. Welcome back. Security in Las Vegas ahead of the Super Bowl game is tight on the ground, as we just saw, and in the air. Brian Willis followed along U.S. Customs and Border Protection officials on a security flight.
Douglas Murray, the Director of Air and Marine Operations for Yuma Air Branch, along with his team, are here to help law enforcement on the ground. They do that by taking to the sky, and I jumped in to see it from their perspective.
Zulu ramp with Lima for a downtown departure.
That perspective is about 800 feet above Allegiant Stadium.
Basically looking for any kind of nefarious behavior, watching things like that with our camera systems.
If you look to the skies this weekend, this is one of the many helicopters you will see protecting the skies during the Super Bowl.
Whatever we're looking at with our camera systems in the helicopter, the people in the Mobile Command Center can see.
While Murray and his crew of the 3 Airbus A-Star helicopters survey the area with specialized camera equipment, 3 Black Hawk helicopters will be enforcing a no-fly zone around the event, redirecting any low and slow traffic that try to come into the area, while fighter jets will be protecting the sky from faster aircraft. Murray says of his past missions, it's an honor to protect the public here in Las Vegas.
Well, in the last half hour of Today in Iowa Sunday, with Super Bowl games just hours away, many local businesses are taking part in the celebrations. We'll tell you how a local pizza tavern is getting ready for a big crowd.
From WHO 13 News, the local news leader, this is WHO 13 News, Today in Iowa Sunday.
Thanks for staying with us for the last half hour of Today in Iowa Sunday. Happy to be here with you today, and also happy that the weather's not half bad.
It really isn't. Yeah, again, we've been so spoiled the last pretty much almost month. We're almost getting to that point where that really cold stretch was a month ago. It probably doesn't feel that long ago.
No, I still have fear from it.
We have flashbacks.
And we still have a little bit of snow in the parking lot that still has not melted yet.
So
it's hanging on.
Yeah, it is hanging on, and we could potentially see the chance for a little more snow in the extended forecast.
Okay.
But that's toward the end of the 7 day.
Nor here nor there.
Right now. Yeah, and it's looking really pretty nice for the rest of the weekend. Here's a live look from Adventureland in Altoona right now. Still a bit cloudy. We're trying to clear those clouds out as we look back off to the west at downtown Des Moines. Temperatures in the 30s for the most part this morning. Marshalltown's still at 28. That's the lone spot in the 20s this morning. Algona and Clarion are up to 34, 33 in Perry and Oskaloosa. Des Moines, Crescent, and Osceola right at that 30-degree mark. Wind's been pretty calm this morning for the most part, but Boone and Clarion reporting a wind of about 10 miles per hour. Carroll out of the west at 6 miles per hour. Lamoni out of the north at 5 miles per hour. So overall light winds. Clouds are just kind of scattered this morning with certainly a fair amount of clearing as well. And I expect skies to only get sunnier as the day goes on. We're looking at temperatures staying mostly in the 40s today. We'll be at the 40-degree mark by noon, the mid-40s by this afternoon with mostly sunny skies. We're going to continue to warm things up a little bit tomorrow and through the first half of the week. And then that reality check I was talking about should arrive. We'll talk about what that means for us across central Iowa in your full forecast coming up in just a little bit.
All right, thanks so much, Gabe. That is quite a tease. People will be staying tuned. Well, topping some of your headlines, criminal charges are pending after counterfeit pills were found at a recovery center. Guthrie County officials were called to St. Gregory's Recovery Center on a report of 2 people suffering a medical emergency Wednesday afternoon. Officers found suspected counterfeit pills believed to contain fentanyl at the facility. The recovered pills have been taken to the Iowa DCI laboratory in Ankeny. A child is recovering from their injuries after being hit by a semi-truck. It happened on Highway 63 just after 5 Friday evening. Oskaloosa police say a child ran into the side of the semi-truck while trying to cross the highway. The child suffered non-life-threatening injuries and was taken to a nearby hospital. The truck driver cooperated with police and was not cited and later released. Well, if you plan on heading out to Super Bowl celebrations, make sure you have a sober ride home if you plan on drinking tonight. The National Traffic Safety Board found that there's a 41% increase in traffic fatalities after the Super Bowl. The majority related to drunk driving. There will be an increased law enforcement present on the roadways. No matter who you plan on rooting for tonight, a plan to get home safely will be the biggest win of the night.
Make sure that you're pre-planning that, because sometimes it's not the best choice to wait until you're too intoxicated to try to figure out a plan. There's plenty of options here, whether it's a friend or a family member or a ride share.
The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration reports that 13,000 people are killed in drunk driving crashes every year. While the spread of game time snacks looks appetizing, the unhealthy handling of foods can make you sick. So here's what people need to keep in mind before chowing down tonight. To stop possible contamination, keep hands, cutting boards, and utensils clean. Hot items should be kept at 140 degrees and cold items are best served at 40 degrees. Meats should be cooked to their proper internal cooking temperatures and kept away from other Super Bowl foods.
We really need to try to keep like raw things, like especially raw meats, separated from your ready-to-eat foods, like the fruits and veggies, things like that. So again, we got to make sure that we keep a lid on that cross-contamination.
Health experts recommend putting food back in the fridge after sitting out for 2 hours. Well, those who are able to score a ticket to the big game will be celebrating around the metro today, and one of the hot spots is Truman's Kansas City Pizza Tavern here in Des Moines. That's where we find our Theodore Mithoff live this morning with all the details on the tasty